They were the kings of YouTube. 7 young men who turned gaming videos and challenge vlogs into one of the most powerful entertainment collectives in the world, the Sidemen. But this isn't the story of their YouTube empire. This is the story of a bold experiment, an attempt to turn internet clout into a nationwide food brand. In 2021, the Sidemen launched Sides, a fried chicken concept born in ghost kitchens and fueled by hype. Within months, it spread like wildfire. Dozens of locations, influencer backing, TikTok buzz, and headlines proclaiming the Sidemen as the future of fast food. And yet, just a few years later, the hype had cooled. Reviews turned sour, locations quietly shuttered, and the dream of turning influencer food into a lasting empire seemed far less certain. This is the rise and the dramatic stumble of Sides by Sidemen. The Sidemen had already proven they weren't just YouTubers. With merchandise sales, live shows, and even a hugely successful charity football match that packed stadiums, they showed they could monetize attention like no one else. But food? That was new territory. In late November 2021, the Sidemen announced the launch of Sides, a fried chicken brand developed in partnership with Virtual Hero, the same food tech company behind Mr. Beast Burger in Europe. The model was simple: no storefronts, no dine-in. Instead, Sides would operate through dark kitchens, also known as ghost kitchens, where existing restaurants cooked and delivered the branded food via apps like Uber Eats, Deliveroo, and Just Eat. It was clever. Low overhead, fast scaling, and perfect for a fan base already glued to their phones. Within days of launch, Sides opened in over 200 kitchens across the UK, UAE, and Europe. Headlines declared it the biggest influencer food launch in Britain. Fans flocked online to try it. TikTok lit up with taste tests. It wasn't just food, it was culture. But scaling fast comes at a cost, and beneath the glossy marketing, problems were already beginning to brew. At its peak, Sides looked unstoppable. The menu was straightforward: fried chicken tenders, loaded fries, wings, burgers, and a few vegan options. Branding leaned into the Sidemen's cheeky, irreverent style. In 2022, Sides expanded even further, boasting kitchens in 10 countries, including the US, Australia, and Canada. The Sidemen used their colossal reach, nearly 20 million subscribers across their channels, to drive awareness. They filmed mukbangs, food challenges, and gave Sides subtle product placements in videos racking up tens of millions of views. The strategy was working. At one point, Sides claimed to be operating in over 300 virtual kitchens. Analysts estimated the brand was pulling in millions annually in gross sales. For a while, Sides was mentioned in the same breath as Mr. Beast Burger, which famously sold over 1 million burgers in its first few months. If Mr. Beast could build a food empire in America, why couldn't the Sidemen do the same in the UK and beyond? But unlike YouTube videos, food has one harsh truth: you can't edit out mistakes, and Sides was about to face that reality. On Reddit, fans who rushed to support the Sidemen admitted disappointment. Some said the food was average at best, while others bluntly called it overpriced chicken tenders. TikTok reviews that once hyped Sides began to shift, with creators posting brutal taste tests where they spat out soggy fries or mocked burnt chicken. The problem was structural. Ghost kitchens allow fast expansion, but they rely on third-party operators. One kitchen might nail the recipe, another might cut corners. With no consistent training, customer experience was a gamble. For an influencer brand built on trust and authenticity, that inconsistency was deadly. And it wasn't just the customers who noticed. Behind the scenes, numbers told an even darker story. By 2023, it became clear that Sides' early momentum was slowing. While no official revenue figures were published, industry insiders noted that many Sides locations were quietly disappearing from delivery apps. At launch, the company bragged of 200-plus kitchens. By mid-2023, that number had dropped significantly. The economics of ghost kitchens painted a grim picture. Operators typically keep 70% of revenue, with the brand taking a cut of what's left. If a chicken burger costs £10, Sides might only see £2 to £3 after fees. Multiply that by inconsistent demand and bad reviews, and the margin shrank quickly. Compared to Mr. Beast Burger, which at least had the advantage of US scale and higher price points, Sides struggled to sustain profitability across so many fragmented regions. And with each closure, the perception of Sides shifted from fastest-growing food brand to overhyped influencer gimmick. The Sidemen themselves were rarely blamed directly. After all, fans knew they weren't cooking the food, but criticism still stuck to the brand. Comments accused them of selling out or slapping their name on a cash grab. Others pointed out the irony. The Sidemen, known for roasting bad products in their own videos, were now attached to one. YouTube commentary channels jumped in. Videos reviewing Sidemen's sides began flooding YouTube, many drawing hundreds of thousands of views. Influencers who once promoted the brand pivoted to roasting it for engagement. It was the nightmare of every influencer brand. The same platforms that built the hype were now fueling the downfall. And then came the quietest but loudest signal of all. The brand itself started shrinking into the background. By late 2023 and early 2024, Sides' presence had dramatically scaled down. Locations were disappearing from apps. International expansion slowed. Press coverage dried up. What began as one of the UK's most ambitious influencer food ventures had become a shadow of itself. There was no dramatic announcement, no viral collapse. Instead, Sides slowly faded from the conversation, drowned out by the Sidemen's other, more successful ventures like Sidemen Clothing and the continued growth of their YouTube empire. The once promising experiment in fast food was no longer front and center. The story of Sides is more than just the Sidemen's misstep. It's a cautionary tale about the entire ghost kitchen model and influencer-backed food. On paper, ghost kitchens seem perfect for creators. No upfront costs, rapid scale, low risk. But in reality, the lack of control over quality erodes trust. Fans might forgive a bad video. They won't forgive a £12 box of cold chicken. The Sidemen's brand is far from ruined. Their YouTube empire is stronger than ever. Their clothing line thrives, and they've cemented themselves as UK entertainment moguls. But Sides revealed the limits of influencer clout. Even the biggest names can't turn hype into a lasting food empire without rock-solid execution. So, was Sides a failure, or just an experiment that showed the growing pains of a new industry? For some, it's proof that influencer-led food was always a gimmick. For others, it's a stepping stone to bigger, better attempts. What's clear is this: Sides started as the Sidemen's boldest venture outside YouTube. It ended as their most sobering reminder that not everything can be built on hype alone. From its explosive launch in 2021 to its quiet retreat just a few years later, Sides by Sidemen went through the full cycle of internet hype: anticipation, explosion, backlash, and decline. It showed the immense power of influencer branding, but also the fragility of reputation when customer experience doesn't deliver. The Sidemen remain icons of digital culture, but Sides will forever stand as a dramatic chapter in their journey. The rise and fall of a food brand that promised the world and delivered, at best, a box of average chicken tenders.
I know you're not following what I'm saying anyway, right? That's okay, that doesn't matter. The real question is this: is all this legal? Absolutely.